Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and pumpkin connoisseurs. Bill here with B&S Giant Pumpkins. Still on the journey for that 2,000 pound pumpkin, or hopefully a state record, we'll see. Weather has been dismal here in the past 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, Southern Ohio. Highs have been in the 60s, lows have been in the 40s. Tons of wind, tons of cold weather and rain, so it's been a little slow for us. The pumpkins, they outgrew the hoop houses. I don't know, I feel like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think the pumpkins are approaching 50 days old. Somewhere close, not quite 50, but we're getting close. At least the plants are, not the pumpkins. Vines are really long, of course, but the secondary growth has been really slow. I just equate it to the cold weather. I guess I could have went out and built bigger shelters over them and heated it like I did earlier with more lighting and yada yada yada, but this is real life, so we are where we are. Today we're going to take a little look at what I'm going to feed, because I haven't really had a chance to feed, and I think I fed once last weekend. We had a couple days above 70 and it was a little drier for a day or two. So we're going to mix up some stuff and get in our 275 gallon totes back here and start feeding tonight. I plan on feeding at least 200 gallons between tonight and tomorrow. Try to jumpstart this process. We have some maybe 80s for the next 2 or 3 days before it starts raining again and gets cooler. So I say take advantage of it while you got it. So stand by and we'll mix some stuff up. All right, guys, we're in the crusty, dusty garage today, and it's where I keep all my products, keep them somewhat climate controlled. We got a bucket here. It's got some pH water out of my tank, and just to help mix it, stir it up. I've got my essentials that I go to right here. Then we're going to add a little something else to it, but we'll make it quick and easy. Stand by one here. First thing we're going to use is the Rhizone from JH Biotech. Going to get a little bit of that in here. Just remember that I am mixing this, and actually I'm mixing it with about 225 gallons. That's what I have in my tanks right now. Second thing I'm going to use is the, if you can see it, Superzyme. A lot of bacteria, beneficial stuff in there. And we're gonna get a little shot of that. These are exact measurements, so they're proprietary, so don't ask me what they are. I'll show you what I use, but can't give you my proprietary information. Next thing we're gonna use is a little Solution 1, JH Biotech. It's got more of your, I guess, full spectrum NPK. Low numbers though. I think it's like a, what is it? 632. After that, we're gonna go to the C-Max, because I love the kelp. Man, I used a lot of kelp last year. Kelp meal, anything water soluble. Got to feed that bacteria. Also has some beneficial stuff for your plants too. A little extra shot of that. My favorite, not really, but some good smelling stuff here. You got your Aqua Power, man. it's your, I guess, your fish fertilizer. It's like a 511, and it smells wonderful. But it also works. Ain't afraid to use a lot of that either. And if you can smell this, whew, some good smelling stuff. Looks like we got 2 more rascals to go through. Oh, well, 3. Next, Humax, humic acid. I mean, I I don't know if you could actually, I guess you could probably feed too much humic or fulvic acid. I don't overdo it, but I make sure that they're in every feeding I give. I feel like it helped out last year. You could look up what humic acid is. It's usually, I mean, it's basically a derivative of your microbes, what they produce, the plant can take up. So we might as well feed some extra while the ground is still a little cool now. It was warmed up, but not anymore. And last, well, let me get this here. A little bit of that. That is a strong concoction right there. You cannot brew that kind of tea. Guarantee it. Oh, sorry. That's the Full Max fulvic acid. I know fulvic acid is supposed to be foliar, but it doesn't hurt to go on the ground either. And the last thing we're going to use is a little scoop of this juice. So a lot of stuff I put in sometimes needs a little bacteria to help it out. So if you can see it, it's called Solufos. Increases your uptake of your, yeah, just lost my mind, phosphate in your soil. And it's basically a, oh, now I have to look. It's your Bacillus and Pseudomonas. So it's going to, with some other things, it's going to help the uptake of that, push it, help your plant, or help the soil, make it available for your plant. Give it 1 scoop of that. Put that over here. And then my handy dandy mixer. I don't see it, but we'll mix it up. We'll take it out to the tank, put it in there, and we'll get some readings. We'll see what our EC is, what our pH is. I'm guessing we're going to be probably around a, I don't know, 1.2, 1.5, and pH is, I'm guessing, going to be about 6.3, 6.2, but we'll find out. So stand by one, and we'll figure it out together. So it's pretty much easy as that. I mix my bucket up. I put it in the tote. I've got a recirculating hose here. And I've got a pump attached to that white piece of 1/2-inch PVC that's going down to the bottom of the tank. It is circulating 24 hours a day. I also have my recirculating tube. I have not got the other tote yet hooked up. Right here. I'm actually going to put a crossbar from this tank to this one and have the pump in the center here so that I can switch off which one I want to use, if I want to use more water or more nutrients. And the simple setup I have, well, here, we'll just roll that back maybe. Same as last year. Little pressure switch pump that is activated by the little water timer. I think it pumps about 4 gallons a minute, and I don't have to worry about a regulator because when all my drip tape's going, it doesn't over pump the line, so it's perfect. And when my little timer shuts off, it shuts off, so I can set that timer. It's just a regular water hose timer. I can set him for 3, 4, 5 times a day, whatever I want. And it works for me because I plan on watering probably about every 3 hours. probably every 4 hours here for the next, every 4 hours, 4 times a day for the next 4 days. So we're gonna go through some water and some product, but so be it. We'll take a look at the plants in a minute, but that's the setup. Let's let that mix for about 10 minutes here, and we'll get some readings. We'll see where we're at. Stand by one. While we're mixing and churning, we might as well look at something, right? I mean, I'm killing time, so you are too. Right here. Oh, it quit. This is what we picked off today. Nice little submarine. Could have pollinated this rascal, but it only been 14 feet. And not quite what I'm looking for, especially if you look at this end. A wacky little, I don't know, 3-lober. Not what I'm looking for, at least for a competition pumpkin, but man, nice little missile for sure. Enough of that. I forgot to say that when I was talking about my pump system, I have 2 lines coming off this rascal. One's actually going to feeding and one is going to recirculating. And I will change that based on, what tank I'm using, obviously the recirculating line. And that's just a 3/4 inch hose that I have tapped into and ran my drip tape off of. So you don't have to spend a bunch of money if you're looking at doing this. You can. It can be a rabbit hole, but you don't have to. There's ways to get around a few things. Not a lot, but so enough of me talking. Let's get this pump going again and let's check this water. So we got the pump back on, at least the recirculating pump. We're just gonna catch a little bit of this water. Just like so. Put it right here. First thing I always recheck is gonna be my pH, because depending on what fertilizers you put in there, you can start off with a pH of, I don't know, 6.5 and get down to a 6.0. I think this was pHing at 6.4 initially. Come on now, stabilize for me. And right there, I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. It is, oops, just knocked my cap off. Looks like 6.1 to me, 6.0. That's even better, we'll take that. And we'll go with our EC. Let her stabilize, and I was way off, way off. You can see that, 0.78. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, because that's another thing. I'm fertilizing every patch a little different to see what's working and what's not. It's actually 7.9 now. 0.79 is what we're feeding. And I'm planning on feeding a lot of water here in the next 24 hours. So leave me alone, B. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. That constant hum is not just my pump, that's the cicadas. These guys are going crazy. So we'll go with that. Actually, it's 0.79. So 0.79 EC today. Or actually, the next 24 to 30, well, it won't be 36 hours. I figure that baby's at 225 gallons. It'll be gone by tomorrow. And then leave me alone. And then we'll readjust based off how the plant responds to what we're feeding. Pretty much though, they're kind of in shock. And we're gonna look at this plant behind us here in a minute. They're in shock because of the cold weather. It's gonna be a little cooler tonight, and after that, we're gonna be in the mid 50s. So I'm not afraid to send too much. This one, this particular plant is 1886 behind me. We're gonna look at it. It's kind of cobra heading up, and I'm not feeding anything more than like a 6% nitrogen. And that's a little bit. That was a 1/4 cup. So, but I haven't fed either. That's another thing, the weather. And there's a lot of blood meal out here too. So that's probably equating for some of that. So I don't want to overdo it. I want to make sure I get a good pollination here. Last year, I think we pollinated on the 8th, then we cut that one off, and then 11th is what we pollinated both plants. I'm fine with going to the 20th because last year I was, well, you know, something about bricks for sure, because I just had to get to the finish line. So stand by one and we will we'll take a look at the plant so we know we're at about a 6.0, 6.1 pH today and EC of 0.78 to 0.80. As this continues to mix, it's going to change and adjust a little bit, but just remember that I use sulfuric acid to pH my water because my water is hard. I usually try to get to 6.7, 6.5. Then when I add my whatever I'm adding in, I might get to, like I did today, a 6.1. So keep that in mind. Don't pH it down to where you want to be until you put your juice in there. And then always make sure your chlorine's out of your water, because your biologicals, if you don't let that tank sit for a day in the sun and circulate or put something in it, you're going to lose a lot of that biologicals and you hit that chlorine. So stand by one, guys. We'll take a look at these plants and I'm going to start running some water. As we walk into the layer, you can see the top of the soil is looking dry. Also, we can see the sky. It's because I pulled the shade netting off. Past 5 days was not showing any major winds to speak of. And that's my main reason for having the shade netting up early on, was because of the wind. So I pulled it off, and this plant is looking okay. I mean, it's not bad. Like I said, we have plenty of length. I mean, let's see. I'm walking on these are 12-foot boards. So this plant's about 15 feet long, finally getting some secondary growth. It's been a minute. A lot of minutes. So I got some good looking secondary growth going on. The plant looks semi-healthy. I can't say it looks healthy. Semi-healthy. It didn't really care too much for the cold weather. And hopefully it's over. I mean, if you look at some of these secondaries, they look kind of spindly. That will change. It will change soon. But when you come out to the end of the main vine, I mean, she's decent. And she, like I said, she's kind of want to cobra head up. Ooh, I can put that baby down some. I will do that in a few. I set my little pole every day or every evening. I set this one yesterday, so we got about, I don't know, 10 inches of growth today. I don't care about the length as much right now as the secondary growth, and like I said, they're starting to move. Some are a little scraggly, like this little thing. I mean, it's the second secondary on the plant. And wind, this is what wind does to you. Right here. Right there. That's not sun, that's just where they've been bent over, broke. Fortunately, those are all pretty much on the main, and they will be cut off anyways. Just leaving them on for now. But it's a decent looking plant, right? I mean, I looked at my videos from last year and we're behind. We're behind about a week. Not for length, you know, or length, whatever you want to say, but secondary growth. We're behind about a week on that. So hopefully these 80s and me starting to have a chance to push some juices to them will improve that. And I would anticipate here pretty soon I'll pull that shade cloth back over. But yeah, this is all I forgot to say. This is the 1886. And it has almost surpassed its drip tape, so I'm going to put more down. Got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. She's a little longer than I thought. So stand by one, guys. We might go check another plant out. Yeah, we might as well. But that's 1886. All right, guys, we're at patch number 2. This plant looks fairly healthy. It does have the shade cloth up. This patch, for some reason, I don't know if it's because the plants come from up north or because it gets considerably more sun, but it doesn't really. Either way, this plant is doing good. It's about the same size as the 1886. This plant is our 2560. Pretty decent looking plant. Growing. Deep green collar. Love it. The other plant is too, but in the video it doesn't look like it. The one thing I like about this plant in particular is, if I can get out here on the smoke board, on the growing tip here, or even down here, I mean, it's huge. It's a very robust plant. Once again, secondary growth has been slow. I guess we probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 12 to, probably 12 secondaries on this plant. I have been having to pick pumpkins off this plant though. Babies and the tips, growing tips of all the secondaries. But she's a good looking plant. I mean, like I said, our plant length is better than last year, but our secondary growth is not, which leads me to believe that the cold weather has definitely hindered some of that secondary growth. Good heavy looking plant, real stocky. I mean, let's see if we can get in here. Yeah, that's I don't even know what to call that. I guess bigger enough, probably silver dollar right now. And considering our weather, I'll take it. I'll take anything I can get. I think it's like 70 out today, and yes, all the black fence is down. It helps conserve the heat, keeps the heat in. Fan is always going 24/7 in the little BNS 9000 wind tunnel. Good looking plant. I did move this stake this morning. You can barely see it. So she's grown, I don't know, about 8 inches today. It's gonna be a little more mild, not cold, warmer for the foreseeable next 4 days. Excuse me. But good looking plant. This plant, I just checked it, and we're running about the same EC, and the pH is 6.3 on what we're feeding right now. Pumps are actually going. But it's a little different feed. All my main go-tos are in there, but I changed up a couple things, added a couple additives that I just want to try out. And yeah, we'll see. You don't know how hard it is to not come out to this patch and say, oh, this is Storm's lair, or this is Norm's lair, because this is a total different year. Our 4th year growing, and I think we got something going together if we get the weather to cooperate. Old Mother Nature, she just not cooperating this year like she did last year. She beat us with wind and rain, but we had good temperatures. So, like I said, not too far behind. If you look at this, I guess I'm rambling on, but we'll ramble on for another second. There's the growing tip. Right here is where Storm laid. So I guess we got another 8 foot to get to where we want to be. Weathers provide. We'll be there here hopefully in the next week or 2. Like I said, I'm fine pollinating on up to June 20th. So my window is the 10th through the 20th. I could have pollinated today on my other plant, but it's too early. Why waste it? I don't need a 135-day-old pumpkin. So we won't take a look at that plant today, just because got to keep some secrets for a little bit. But I'll show it to you next video. Well, that pretty much concludes this week. Not a whole lot going on. I mean, we're we're just kind of in a holding pattern, waiting for the weather to change. Like I said, I guess I should have done more when I could, but now it's too late. So I feel like we're gonna have a decent year, and we're gonna crack that 2K, hopefully a state record. Hopefully you got some good pointers out of this video, and if you did, like and subscribe, and if you didn't, still like and subscribe. I'm not making any money off YouTube, but it's just nice to see how many people follow and how many people are interested in this content. And as always, if you want some good products, you know, Safer Grow, you have to order through Safer Grow, but JH Biotech products, I mean, you can't beat them so far. I mean, they're doing what they need to be doing. I just need the weather to cooperate. But if you use the promo code BNS Giant, all caps, you'll get 15% off. Just gotta say it. It's not making me any money, but I just like to help the growing community out, and you know, if I can help anyone out, I will. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I am not a master pumpkin grower yet, but by golly, we're gonna be there this year, God willing. So thanks for watching. See you here. Well, if we have some good growth, I'll see you next week. If not, I'll throw some shorts up like always, and we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be awesome though, growing on that scale this year. I'll definitely be able to see what I do and the results of what I put down. That's another thing. If you get into this and you want to try to grow a giant pumpkin, write down what you do every day. If you don't write it down, how are you gonna remember it? So every day I feed, I write down exactly what I put down. My EC, my pH, my parts per million, all the hoopla. So I can look back and be like, oh, that was working good with this type of weather. And I also put down the weather, the date, and all that good stuff. So just remember that. It is a competition. I mean, it's a competition that's about 50% in your control. So you might as well control what you can. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon.